What's happening, everybody, is a special Wednesday edition of Thrifty Business with Jay and A. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay.
Philly Nay. Hi, everybody.
What's happening? We have an extra special guest tonight. It's our first eBay employee. Yay! It's Audrey Tracy, who is eBay's social media manager. Mm-hmm. And Audrey's going to tell us about all the avenues you should be using that is info from eBay to you to help you be a better seller and buyer in some instances. So we're going to say bye-bye to Audrey for a little bit, and then she'll be back, and we'll chit-chat about everything that she's in charge of and more. So I'm going to say bye-bye to Audrey for a little bit.
Hi.
Oh, wait, now you talk? Go ahead. All right. How you doing, A?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
Let's get into our show like we always do.
Hey.
Hey.
Ooh, I have to talk about my tiki.
Time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum from a different tiki mug. I try and relate to our guest somewhat. Audrey lives in San Jose. She works for eBay. I do not have any blue, yellow, red, and green mugs. And there is no real good tiki bars in San Jose, or even was. So I did the next best thing. I'm drinking out of Smuggler's Cove. It's my buddy's rum bar in San Francisco, so it's all part of the Bay Area. And the reason I wanted to show this is he has made this mug in 4 or 5 different colors now. And so collectors need them all, and once they make them once, they don't tend to make them again. So if you see a mug, make sure that if you see one of these rum barrels, make sure if you realize if it's the one in current production or one of the retired ones, that makes it worth more. I'll take a little sip here. I'll tell you what I'm drinking. It is yummy. This is Dos Maderos PX 5+5. Now, that seems like a lot of information for a rum name when you're used to things like Malibu and Captain. But what the 5+5 is, it's Guyana and Barbados rums blended together and aged for 5 years in whiskey barrels, which is normal for rum. Then it shipped off to Spain to be further aged in sherry casks. So it's aged in whiskey and sherry, and so it gives it a whole different flavor than you're used to with rum. It's very good. I recommended it to a friend who was standing in the rum aisle this past week for his July 4th party, and he loved it, so I figured, hey, I'll drink that tonight.
And I have a actual tiki mug. It's a cheap and cheesy tiki mug, but I think it's more eBay patriotic than yours because it does have blue, orange, and green on it, which are 3 of the eBay colors. So.
I looked. I could not find anything that even came close. So
this is just a cheapo dollar store one, but it's actually pretty good quality for dollar store. It's kind of thick, so yeah, it's not bad.
Very cool. All right.
Okay, so
now it's time for Nay's breast cancer update and fact of the week.
Yeah, today was a 3-appointment day, so that's always a little hectic. And I had a tough visit with my doctor because my old surgeon just left the group 2 days ago, so I'm kind of in limbo now. So I might have to find a new doctor, which is very hard, but otherwise I'm doing okay. Still in some pain from my surgery, but physical therapy, you know, I'm moving on. I'm doing all right. So my fact of the week is every 19 seconds, somewhere in the world, a case of breast cancer is diagnosed in a woman. So just think about that. Every 19 seconds that you're living, you're doing something. It doesn't take long for 19 seconds to pass. Someone has just found out that they have breast cancer. That's tough. That's a staggering statistic. So we need to fight to lower that.
Yes, we do. And you are looking very nice this evening, my dear.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, let's get into it. This is why you tune in. Our scores of the week. And boy, I got some good ones to share this week. Woo! All right, so let's get right into it. Well, yeah, I got to practice, figure out how to jump from one picture to another without having to do this. All right, so I bought this vintage Pabst Blue Ribbon delivery man shirt when my wife and I were on vacation somewhere at a vintage clothing store. So vintage clothing stores, they pick from like thrift stores and things that we do, and then they put a premium on it. And I spent $36 on their shirt, knowing full well I could flip it for quite a bit of money, and it sold last night for $117. And so I was very happy. I know most people wouldn't spend $36 on a used shirt, but I knew I could. I could tell by the tag and the stitching it was definitely an old shirt. And here's the back.
Awesome.
And there's the tag, union made. So very cool shirt. So yeah, $117. But I gambled with $36 on it. Secondly, I've talked about this brand many times in the past. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Okay. Johnny Cupcakes. It's a limited edition brand out of Boston. This one actually sold for $35. I paid $2 for it. I have another Johnny Cupcakes up right now, and I just found two more that when Nay and I do our next haul, which is hopefully soon, I'll show you the cool Johnny Cupcakes I picked up. So I paid $2 and sold for $35. And this was my favorite. I bought this crazy loud Flags of the World shirt for $2, and it sold on July 4th for $78.
Yep, so I would have grabbed that up.
Oh, yeah. If you're not shopping in the men's section of clothes, you just saw a $78 shirt, a $35 T-shirt, and a $117 shirt. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're leaving money on the table.
Yep. Okay, so... and my picture could have been better here, I admit. But they sold. So this was an Anne Klein size 6.5 heels, and they sold for $29.90. And the good part of this was that they went all the way to the other side of the country, but they were smaller size, and they were easily bubble wrap. You secure the heel with a little cardboard, slap them in a padded flat rate envelope for around $6, and across the country they went. So not bad for $29.90, and I believe I think those were actually in the $2 shoe section at Philly AIDS Thrift a while ago. So
nice.
And I sold this 1986 sealed puzzle, and it was incredible edibles. This was before Photoshop existed, so the idea in this line of puzzles was to morph different types of fruit together or vegetables. So you have a pepper with a tomato inside. I think the puzzle is hideous personally, but somebody sure enough wanted it, and he apparently was a collector, and maybe he had gotten burned on eBay before, I'm not sure, but he messaged me with very, very careful packing, very specific packing instructions. So I just packed it very carefully to his specifications and sent it to him, and hopefully he's a happy buyer. $24.99 with free shipping, and it didn't cost that much to ship, so not bad. And I think I paid like $2. And this is an example where you can really cash in on some of the older sewing patterns, especially the Vogue. Now, I just remember that I get my...
Vogue, what you looking at?
I get my sewing patterns mostly in bulk, so meaning a whole bag of them for like $5. At the per pound store, I used to get like a whole bucket of them for nothing. So I think this was, it was less than $1. And to sell it for $14.99, it's like no weight to ship. That's, it's not a lot to sell it for, but for a piece of paper, essentially, a sewing pattern, I think that's a good turnaround. So
nice and easy to ship, Yeah,
they're so easy to ship. Yes.
We've seen our scores of the week. Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. So let's get right into our duds. Mine's kind of funny in a good way. So I bought these Lakers NBA champion 2001 hats. Now, I normally say don't buy dated sports stuff that is somewhat current, and 15 years is somewhat current. If this was a 1990 hat, much better. But the reason I bought them, they're only $2, and they still had the tags, and so I bought like 10 of them. Well, guess what? They never sold. I hadn't had them listed for a while. I relisted them. I was telling my assistant the other day, I'm like, this is one of my worst purchases ever. And I sold 2 yesterday. One for $10 and one for $13.50, 13 and a quarter. So I've now made my money back, and I still have a couple left, but not a hot commodity. I would not buy hats like this again unless I said it's way older. And this I thought would be awesome. Disneyland Hong Kong T-shirt, new attack, and it only sold for $12, and I had it up for like 2 years. So again, maybe because it was just kind of boring and there wasn't much to the shirt, but I figured Disney heads would have loved it, but apparently not.
I have a mug, by the way, for Euro Disney. It was the opening of Euro Disney. It was commemorating that, and it's been sitting in my store for years. I think I'm going to have to donate it. It's crazy. I don't know. Nobody wants it. So this is, my Wilton pans are duds. I don't know. I had sold Pocahontas, and then she never got paid for. She's a dud. Big Bird is a dud. I can't sell him for $15.99 with free shipping. It takes up a lot of space. I might be donating him. And I am surprised about this one. I thought the Darth Vader would go. Maybe I have to lower my price. Maybe I'm asking too much. But I got this at a flea market last year. And I grabbed it up, and because it's an actual vintage or I guess it's 1980. So I thought it would sell. Nobody wants it. So. All
right, now here I'm gonna give you a little lesson because I know you're not well versed.
I'm not a Star Wars geek. Yes.
The next Star Wars movie comes out this December.
Okay.
And the rumor is we're gonna see Darth Vader in this movie because it's a prequel to the first Star Wars movie where they steal the plans for the Death Star. And when I say the first Star Wars movie, I mean the first one that was actually released in 1978, so Episode 4. So Darth is going to be in a movie again this fall/winter. So hang tight. I would leave that there because we're going to get a new dose of Darth. All right.
So you think I should just let it sit at that price? And
I do.
Okay.
And
I mean, it's 1980. That's an original pan, and it's got all the instructions and the inserts.
Somebody said make sure you add best offer to it. You don't have the best offer on it.
Good point. I can add that.
I want to lament real quick. Those of us who are old enough, if you remember how the frosting was on these kind of cakes, they don't make that kind of frosting anymore. And I miss that frosting really bad.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So there's my first world problems. Oh, that was it. You just had those two.
Yeah, that's all I had, yeah.
I'm going on to something else, and there was nothing else to go on to. All right, cool. So that's not too bad. And like I said, I think you might be able to pull it off this fall. So hang tight.
Okay, thank you for the advice. Okay.
Yep. All right, now it is time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. Where Nay and I tell you little stories about people we interact with, usually in the thrift store. And mine is I didn't have much of an interaction with her, but I thought, genius idea, why have I never thought of this? So when I thrift or I pick through records or CDs at record stores, I've always got to find the step stool because when I do the lower levels, when you're 6'5", it's really tough. So this woman figured out a way to kind of combat that and make life even easier. She grabbed an office chair from the furniture section and just wheeled herself around the...
Oh, well, she was inventive. She made her own little little
she
chair.
Had her little push cart, and I just watched her go. But when she was done, it was she put the chair back in the furniture section and rang out, and off she went. Plus, she's got a slamming big-ass hat on there. Look at that thing.
That is funny.
I saw her. I'm like, why have I never thought of borrowing a wheelie chair? That's awesome.
Oh my gosh! So you're gonna do it now? No.
Heck yeah! So if you see me in thrift store, you'll find me in that wheelie chair.
You're not doing it when you're thrifting with me.
Oh yes, I am.
No, you're not. I won't know you. I'll be like, I don't know who he is. I don't know.
All right, what do I need for yours?
You need 2 links. I don't care which one you bring up first.
All right, yeah, got it. Okay, got it.
So I did some thrifting on eBay this week. Very oddly, I am going to the eBay Open event in August, and at the end of July, which I'm very excited about. Thanks to my generous parents helping me out, I can go. So I I needed a Hawaiian dress for the event. I knew I was going to need that. So I was looking through tons of Hawaiian dresses, and I happened to come upon this one, and I loved it. It was really cute, and I ordered it, and then lo and behold, I click and I recognize the username. It's Vicky Egan, who is our personal friend, and she's been on our show before. So she sent me the dress. And I mean, what are the odds? The dress that I like is going to be one of our members and a friend. And not only did I get the dress, I also got this beautiful, I don't know if you can see here, positivity bracelet. And she had worn it when she was going through a tough time, and she passed it on to me. And so now every time I look at my wrist, it's a reminder of positivity. And it's a really good reminder right on my wrist. And I was really touched by that. So thank you, Vicky. And I love the dress. I have to get it altered a little bit, but it's perfect. I'm so excited about it. So that was an odd occurrence. And then what are the odds? The other thing that I buy on eBay for Vegas, I bought these Fit Kicks because I'm not really a sneaker wearer, and I didn't really want to pack a pair of sneakers, but I'm also a city girl, so I need something that folds up in my purse really small, but that I can put in my feet when I'm in my girly heels and my feet get tired. So I found these awesome Fit Kicks shoes, and the best price and the best looking seller I just bought from randomly. I bought the red ones, the awesome looking red ones, and they came really fast. And it turns out that I bought from one of our group members, Melissa, and she sent me this awesome note. She said, Dear Nay, I was so surprised to see your name on my orders. I hope you love the shoes. I wear them a lot. I tried to find a giraffe. No luck, darn it. Maybe your cute kitties will like a new friend. Thanks for all you do, lifting you up in love and light every day, Melissa, a loyal follower. And she sent this adorable little kitty for, not only did I get the shoes, but I got this little kitty for my cats to play with too. So thank you, Melissa. And of all the eBay sellers, I buy two things on eBay, and they're both members of our group and friends. So that was really cool.
It's a crazy small world, that's for sure.
Yes, it was crazy. I had no clue. Like, it was, yeah, so.
All right, now it is time for our Thrifty Tips of the Week. And I might have mentioned this before, but I really want to hammer it home. When you go thrifting with someone else, a friend, a spouse, your significant other, whatever, and it's time to check out, one of you should go in line and the other one should keep picking. There's no reason two of you should stand in line at all. So put that one person in line, because when it's me, my wife doesn't really care about thrifting, so she gets in line. And one of the last times we went together, she got in line, and I was just picking around. And I don't go far, so I don't get lost, and she's screaming for me. I just, right around I look at the go-back stuff. So there was a little rack of purses the last time we went, and I found this cool little Japan Airlines bag, and I picked it up for $2, and it sold today for $20. Plus, it went to Sweden, and they paid international shipping. So I would not have found that. I somehow missed it the first time, but that last couple of minutes while my wife was in line, I found that goodie. So make sure to not waste your time with both of you in line. And what's yours? Nay? We don't hear you anymore, Nay. So Nay has been having technical difficulties with her mic, so I'll let her fix that real quick. To the point of, I think we're going to have to call the mic making company, because it keeps just she's not doing anything, and she goes bye-bye. So I think I hear you. Say something. Nope, I do not. That was a false alarm. False alarm! Excuse us for the technical difficulties. Oh, I heard you for a second. I hear you for a second, then you go bye-bye again. You want to switch to just the default microphone? We'll finish out the show with that, and then we'll call tomorrow. So nope, I don't hear you. Switch your settings to default, and we'll just keep rolling on.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you now.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I apologize about that. I actually went and bought a new USB cord, and thinking that would fix it, and it hasn't, so I have to call Yeti, apparently.
What picture do I need for your thrifty tip?
Oh, my thrifty tip is the glittery shorts.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and I have them in hand too, so I can start
All right,
So
where I got the picture. There we go.
okay, so these are awesome shorts. So my tip is if you find anything that blingy and sequined and just pure bling, doesn't matter the brand, it doesn't matter the size, buy it. That's all I can say. These are the shorts. They are, see how shiny and crazy they are? I actually did try them on. I would never wear these. They're like really short and everything, but they do fit, and they will go to some happy buyer, I assume. They're not missing one sequin. They're lined, and the brand is irrelevant. It's Moon, but who cares? Because look at all that bling. So
look at all that bling.
Yeah, so that's the point. If you find something this glittery and blingy, just buy it. Just somebody will want it.
All right, good tip. Yeah, Blingy always sells. Now it's time for... You have got to be shipping me, Renee and I give you tips and tricks on what to do and what not to do. And mine's pretty simple. If you're not in my Facebook group, the Thrifting Board, you're missing out on a ton of information. And even if you're in my group, it's apparent that you're missing out on a ton of information. Now, if you're in my group and you've never went to the file section and read all the files, you are missing out, excuse me, on a ton of great info. Today, I had to ship 30 cassettes, and they weighed 5 pounds when boxed. And so I compared priority options, and a regional A box was the best option. Regular priority would have been $19.22, and the regional would have been $10.77. And so I just wanted to share that with a group to remind them to make sure they have both regional A and B. And a lot of people, there was a lot of discussion, as you can see right here. A lot of people are like, I don't know what I think about the regional boxes, but yet they're in the group. All that info is in the file section. So here's what not to do. Don't just join a group and ignore everything else around you. Go, especially our group. Go to the file section. There's so much great stuff, not just about shipping, about everything. Our one lifeguard CR had done a great job of making everything very specific. She titles them shipping or thrifting, and so you can go through and look at all this stuff. So go check it out. You'll learn a lot about shipping. If you're not using regional boxes, you're, again, wasting money. Hello, Nadine.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm not sure what shoes they're asking me about. A shoe name. I'm not sure what they're asking me, so I'm sorry. Okay. So my shipping tip, it has some photos.
Yep, start talking.
Okay. So I received, this was another thing that I ordered. I used this very specific type of natural face wash that's not animal tested, you know, the whole vegan thing. And but I love this stuff, and it's kind of hard to find in stores, and when I do find it in stores, it's very expensive. So I find it on eBay, and I found 2 for basically the price that I usually pay for 1, which was awesome. And I received it, and I was really surprised. It was like opening one of those Russian nesting dolls. It was first put in, actually the middle picture is the first picture. It was in a poly mailer. It came first class. And then inside the poly mailer was a paper, was one of the paper flat rate envelopes. And inside the paper flat rate envelope was a padded flat rate envelope, and inside the padded flat rate envelope were 2 more poly mailers, and each poly mailer inside of the 1, 2, 3, they were the 4th envelopes, had contained the actual product. And it came, it didn't leak, it was in perfect shape, but boy, they didn't need to A, Russian nest it like that, and B, it was an overuse of their materials, and also a violation of USPS shipping, because you know you're not supposed to ship first class with a priority padded or a priority flat rate envelope inside. So there were many things wrong with this. I did leave them positive feedback because I did get my 2 products, and they were new, they were in great shape, nothing leaked out. But whoa, that was some serious packaging. That was wasteful.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was, I kept opening and opening, and it was like there were just more layers.
All right, so real quick, I want to answer the chat. They said, Kimberly said, how'd she say it? SAD is not in the shipping options on eBay. It is. It isn't when you set up your shipping, but when you go to ship, the regional options are there. So if you're going to ship your next item and it's going priority, there's a thing at the bottom that says compare rates. Click on that, and it'll show you regular priority. It'll show you flat rate envelope. It'll show you padded flat rate envelope. It'll show you A. It'll show you B. It'll show you medium. It'll show it all of you. But you don't pick it when you're given, because all the option is on the front end is just priority. Just pick priority. And then on the back end, when you have to ship, you just select which one works the best for you. I hope that makes sense. Because it is there. It's just not there at the beginning. Okay? Do we got all that? All right, cool. All right, so I think I have pulled off the technology I tried to pull off last week. So yay. Let's give it a whirl here. All right, so now it is time for...
Oh, my favorite segment. Oh, no, not that one. I thought we were going to our new segment.
This is your favorite segment? All right, cool.
No, it's not my favorite segment.
Viewers, 2-minute topic of the week. And this week, our question is submitted by Stephanie France. Thank you very much, Stephanie. How do you organize your inventory of clothing? By size, color, type, recently listed? How do you store it? Bins, hangers, closets, under bed, etc. Now, normally, I hold my phone up. But I downloaded this little thing, and check this out. Boom, there's my phone on my computer. How cool is that?
Very
so
cool.
now we're all high tech, Nay. So
okay.
You are off and running. Go.
Okay, I should be more organized, and I was, you know, before the whole big cancer thing came into my life. But I try to list to put bins with like clothing and most recently listed clothing. So when I list a batch, I will start a new bin. And I store most of my clothing inventory in the big Rubbermaid bins. However, I do have a section of my closet that has dresses, like nicer dresses that need hanging, and they have plastic bags over them so that they're protected. You know, there's certain things that you don't want folded in a bin, so I do have a section of my closet dedicated to that. And I do have 3 under the bed storage bins as well, where I also will fold some clothing and keep it. And my creative brain just kind of knows where everything is. No one else would be able to ever ship for me or find anything. So it's kind of my own system, but I do try to categorize them by listing time.
You're done, son.
Okay.
All right, I'm glad my technology's working tonight. This is much cooler. Oops, let's reset it and go. So all my t-shirts behind me are by size and by color, because it's so much easier when you sell a black t-shirt in medium to go to the medium shelf and go right to the blacks, and then you pick a black. Hawaiian shirts, same way. They're up here. They're all by size and color. CDs are alphabetical because that's the easiest way to pick them out. Excuse me. And then most of my stuff is in tubs across the hall, and it's very specific. This tub is jackets. This tub is sweaters and sweatshirts. This tub is dresses. This tub is women's non-dresses. This tub is purses. So all those things, excuse me, make it easier, especially when you have an assistant and you print off your invoice for the day and you go, here, go pull these. She knows, okay, I got to go to the purse tub, the sweater tub, and the jacket tub. And when it comes in, I try and do the same thing. I break it down into categories. So when we list it, it's quicker and easier. And as I see an area of my store diminish in stuff, that's what we work on next. So if the purse tub is kind of empty, then we work on purses. And that's how I do it. Boom! Boom, right on it.
Good.
All right, I like my new technology. It worked this week.
Yeah.
Yay, it didn't crash. Yay.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yay. All right, and then our last segment before we get Audrey in here is... there it is. The good, the rad, and the ugly, because we all know ugly sells.
That was my favorite segment. The picture, the photo, the picture. Yeah, that was some fun photoshopping there.
Yep. So, yeah, we all know ugly sells, and so what you should do is always buy the ugliest thing you can find, because that's what's going to sell. Now, if you watch our haul videos, you saw this about a week or so ago, but I had to share it again, because when we're doing this at Ugly Sells, there ain't nothing uglier than this purse.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible. The dog's hair is like, I don't know. I don't even know what to call that.
And this was in the best part, if you didn't see the haul video, the legs are posable, so you know when I list it, this dog's going to be peeing on something. So this will sell, and this purse right here will sell in the neighborhood of $35 to $40, and I bought it for $2 in the kids section, which is not a kids section.
Can you show the opening on that, please? I want to see the inside.
It's kind of like
wow.
Vinyl.
So is there actually room in there, or is it just
not a ton? There's room for like a little tiny wallet and a lipstick, and that's about it.
Wow, that's crazy.
But how fabulous will you look with this over your shoulder? Come on, man.
I mean, I like crazy stuff, but that's a little over the top for me.
All right, let me bring up your picture, but start talking. Hello?
Yes.
Go.
What am I? I'm sorry. What am I?
We're doing the ugly.
You need my picture. Okay, I'm sorry.
I got it.
Okay, so this tie is ugly. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's a 1980s Genera. I don't know if you guys remember the Genera. They used to make those hypercolor shirts where you would touch them and they would turn different colors. They were a really popular fad. So that's that brand, and it's a skinny necktie with this crazy 80s print. And it's not selling, so it could be a dud because it's so ugly, but it is ugly. And I keep thinking somebody's got to want that ugly thing because...
You don't have a male mannequin, do you?
I do not. I only have a woman.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been throwing the ties on my male and actually tying the tie.
Yeah,
just to show it in action somewhat, you know.
That's a good idea, but no.
All right, let's before we bring Audrey on, let's do a little business here real quick. Man, I got a frog in my throat right before we started the show. Damn it. All right, couple things. Our guest next week. It's an amazing story. It's one of those stories that if there's any part of your day where you say, I can't, I won't, and you're like lazy or you just don't want to do it, our guest next week existed with an online business for 4 years and didn't have the internet.
Wow.
He would go to Starbucks. He would go to the local library. He finally has the internet now, and we did a test this week. He's going to be on next week. So it's one of those amazing stories of perseverance and someone who doesn't believe in can't or won't or don't. And so I hope you all tune in for that because that's going to be kind of cool. And we've seen this time and time again. Tim Taylor was the same way. Our guest next week will be the same kind of thing. Nay, with what she's going through, same thing. You know what? You can't let the shortcomings in your life, whether it be no internet or cancer, dictate how you live your life. You need to stand up and figure it out. And I can't wait to do that story. So that's number one. Number two, my other show I'm doing with my mom called Selling Past Your Expiration Date, being thrifty over 50. This week, it's going to be on Friday, we're going to talk about how to split the work when you're an older couple. So, you know, not one person's doing all the work. So my dad and my mom, my dad's going to make his first appearance, and we're going to talk about what my dad does, what my mom does, and how they make it work for them. And then lastly, 3 weeks from tonight. Now,
I'm so excited.
Get your pen and paper out. Write this down. Put it in your calendar. Put it in your phone calendar. We're going to have a show live from Vegas, from the coolest, newest bar in Vegas. It's called Rebar. It is half antique store, half bar. Everything's for sale, including the stool you sit on. And my buddy who owns it says, we've been selling a lot of stools. You might have to rethink that policy because they're selling, but he's like, I'm going to run out of stools at some point. So tonight, as soon as this show's over, I got to run down there because I got to take some pictures with them. I'm going to do about a 10-minute test show. I'll put the link in the thrifting board right as we get done with this show. If you can tune in, I just need a few people in the audience to tell me how it looks and how it sounds because we've never done it from a bar. So it'll be our first show from a bar. And so tonight's my little test to see if I have to tweak anything. So do me a favor. If you're in the thrifting board, click on the link. It'll be about an hour after the show's over, give or take. So the date is 3 weeks from today. So what is that?
The 27th, I believe.
The 27th. So, yeah, live from a bar where you can shop. And what we're going to do, like we did with our anniversary show, we're going to be set up at a computer, and then I'm going to take a phone or an iPad, and we're going to walk around. We're going to see what's for sale around the bar. Maybe we'll talk to some bar patrons. Maybe you get to meet some colorful Vegas bar patrons. How's that sound?
I am so excited. I can't wait. I love doing live shows, but the fact that I'm going to be in Vegas doing one, it's awesome. Yes, it'll be awesome.
now it's time what you all tuned in for. Me singing. No, just kidding.
No, I don't think so. No.
Don't be so adamant about it. It's our guest of the week, Audrey Tracy, eBay social media manager. Let's get Audrey in here. Yay!
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
girlfriend, what's
everybody.
happening?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out. This is quite the show. I didn't realize you had so many segments and so many special
You've never
effects.
watched? Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, I've watched, but not, I mean, I didn't realize it was this elaborate. So, congratulations. You're
Well,
pulling
thanks.
off a big
the
deal
funny thing
here.
was, somebody just complained about our sound effects, and that happens from time to time. But all my friends do shows, and I was on them all, and I thought, you know what? All these shows are the same way. People just sit and talk,
Right.
and there's no
You
segments.
like to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, they meander. And when I said, "Hey, let's do the show," I want to do like a nighttime talk show, kind of like the Tonight Show. There's segments, and then there's guests. Same thing.
Love it. Love it.
All right, before we get into what you're here for, Nadine, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Who is in the picture over Audrey's shoulder?
Oh, wait.
Nope.
Over Audrey's shoulder? That would be
Yes.
Milo? You're talking about
What?
Milo?
Not your shoulder, Audrey's shoulder.
Oh, I have Audrey Hepburn over my
Oh, yeah, duh. I forgot Audrey Hepburn was there. No, our guest, Audrey. Look at her.
No, I've got Audrey Hepburn in my background. I'm like, sorry about that.
There's two Audreys on the show.
There are.
All right, so who's over her shoulder? Do you know?
I can't see the photo really well. Let me
Well,
see.
click on Audrey.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay. Oh, that's Muhammad Ali, isn't it?
And who's he hitting?
Cassius Clay is hitting. Is that the Beatles?
Get out.
Yes. Yes. Well done.
Dude,
Girl
that's
did
the
it. Yay.
Wow. Is that? I can't tell which one. Is that Paul that he's hitting?
No, he's hitting.
Ringo. He's hitting Ringo.
He's hitting Ringo.
Ringo.
They're all there though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I am shocked and so proud of Nadine because she is not the biggest pop culture person, so
No,
that was
no.
pretty awesome.
And I also know that his name is Cassius Clay.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Double points for that.
So yeah, okay, I got it.
All right, so Audrey, tell us, before we get into your current situation, give us like a 30-second bio of how you got from the womb to eBay.
Okay, well, I was born a poor black child. No, I grew up in San Jose. I actually grew up about 3 miles away from the eBay campus. And normal childhood. My parents were hippies in downtown San Jose. It was a very interesting neighborhood, very colorful
So wait, they were
neighborhood.
hippies, yet you have a normal name?
I do have a normal name. Yeah,
Not like
I'm
Sunshine,
yeah, my middle name isn't like Moonbeam or anything. Just, there's not much to say. Just a regular old life. Grew up in the 70s. Went to high school and college. College took me a little while, I'll be honest. It took me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And then I kind of stumbled into high tech, and I've been doing high tech marketing for 15 years, and I really started at Intuit, which is the makers of QuickBooks, TurboTax, and Quicken. And I've always had kind of a specialty about marketing to small businesses. I was at Intuit for a long time. The best job at Intuit was, I had a couple of roles there, but the best one was advertising. We did TV, radio, print, and online advertising, and so it was super fun. It was so cool to watch work with the advertising agency, put together a TV spot, go down to LA, shoot it, edit it, the whole shebang. It was super cool. And then I went to PayPal for 18 months, and now I've been at eBay for 3 years. So that's the short story.
Cool.
Oh, I must have known you the whole time because I think I've known you for at least 3 years. I've only been at eBay for 3 years.
Yeah. And were you part of like PayPal ambassador stuff too?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I was very loosely involved with that as well. So it may even be longer than 3 years.
Okay.
So can you describe your job at eBay a little bit and what you do for social media? I think a lot of our viewers were thinking that you were more on the end of social media for selling, which is what I kind of thought at the beginning, but you're not. You're actually social media for eBay to engage sellers in content, relevant content.
Yes.
So
So here's how I describe it. So eBay, obviously eBay has buyers and sellers, and we have groups that market to buyers and groups that market to sellers. I'm on the seller marketing team. There is a huge group. There's a huge team on the buyer-facing social media team, and that's if you go to facebook.com/eBay, you'll see that they have like 9 million fans on Facebook. It's a huge operation. Excuse me, on the buyer side and they're really gold with bringing traffic to the site, right? Using social media to bring traffic to the site so that people will buy. On the seller marketing team, which is my team and a much smaller team, my job is we try to do 3 things with our social: educate, inform, and inspire. So we really educate is around like how to do best practices, how to kind of be the best seller you can be on eBay, using all the tools, using all the features, doing all the great photos, descriptions, titles, all of that stuff. And then inform is really about kind of like being a newsroom almost. Like we try to talk about like breaking news. So for instance, like when USPS does a rate increase or there's a postal strike in Canada, for instance, we want to inform people through social media.
Okay.
And then the third one is really inspire, and that's all around like seller stories and Jason just alluded to folks like Tim Taylor and the guy that didn't have internet for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of stories where we really like to kind of highlight the perseverance of sellers and how wonderful our sellers are. We have a terrific seller community, and everybody has an interesting story, and so we like to kind of show those off.
That's so true. I have my own story with fighting cancer and losing my full-time job and dealing with 3 kids, and cancer and all those surgeries and but I still sell, and I still list as almost every day, as much as I can, and still doing it, and it's something that I can still do, thankfully.
Well, and so it's folks like you that I find super impressive that are fighting some sort of battle, but still able to like bring in a little income and have a life through eBay.
Thank you. Yes, it's a big help. Let me tell you, after losing my full-time job, this is a blessing to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, God bless you.
You brought up the eBay. Oh, I think I just sold something.
Okay. All right.
Since you brought up the eBay page, you're right. It's 9,248,455 people.
Yep. So that's
710 of my friends like it. So I got a lot of friends who like eBay.
Gee, I have no idea.
I think so. Yeah.
So this is one avenue that if you're not on eBay on Facebook, I would start here.
Mm-hmm. But just know that that's really buyer facing, and so that's really around like getting people to click on that ad right there, or not ad, but that post right there, and go shop for some awesome tennies.
Right, but from a seller standpoint, if you see that you guys are highlighting Jordans and you got something to sell, get them up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly.
So, and you also give information to the sellers about the latest things that are going on, latest trends, and the latest news with eBay. Correct.
Yeah. And in fact, one thing that we've really embraced since Hal Lawton came on board, he's the Senior Vice President for North America, is the idea of retail moments. And that means that sellers are bringing the right inventory to the site at the right time. For instance, pink, red, and heart-themed items for Valentine's Day, or items for Father's Day, like ties and barbecue kits and whatever it is that you buy for your father. We're really trying to motivate our seller audience to kind of be in tune with those retail moments and provide the right inventory for each sort of holiday. And it doesn't have to be a holiday. There's also stuff like cultural moments, like Star Wars is the one that we always toss around. Last December, everyone was talking about Star Wars, right? So if you had Star Wars merchandise, get it up. And and also Jay just mentioned that there's another one coming this December. So hold on to that cake. Hold on to that cake pan.
I my cake pan finally.
Hold on to that cake pan, and I swear it'll sell next December.
By the way, I sold a Ramones T-shirt for $23. Thank you, eBay.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
All right, so staying in the eBay or Facebook theme, here is eBay for Business. So tell us a little bit about that.
So this is the page that I manage. My role has gone a little bit from being like a community manager person to where I was engaging kind of daily. I've kind of stepped back a little bit, and now the customer service team. I don't know if any of your viewers have ever gone to eBay for Business for customer service, but we have a really fantastic team out of Utah. They are U.S. based. They speak English. They understand your questions, and they just provide awesome customer service on the page or through email. And that email address is facebook@ebay.com. That email address feels a little weird, like you're emailing Facebook, but you're emailing the Facebook team at ebay.com. If that makes sense.
So now, is it weird talking on a show, watching yourself talk on another show?
Yeah, I know. And I'm wearing the same shirt. Wait a minute.
And shit, that was from 2 days ago.
No, that was from today. We did that today.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I change my shirt every day. Thank you very much.
But Griff apparently wears the same hat every day. Look, there's the hat. There's the hat.
That's a cool hat, though. I like it.
It's a new look.
Now, if someone pops on this page and asks a question over here on the left, does somebody from eBay typically comment or answer? Or
yes.
Okay.
We have like a 90. We have a 100% response rate. I think within like 2 to 5 hours, somewhere in there.
Very nice.
So you will get your questions answered. Yeah, and just one note there is, sometimes people will post on our wall with account-specific information. They'll either put like the item number or a user ID, or they'll say, "This buyer scammed me," blah blah blah. We can't process that stuff. That's private information on a public forum, right? We can't process that stuff on the page, but we will ask you to use email, and we can resolve that issue privately.
That's understandable. That's great.
So since I'm scrolling through here, sorry, Nate, go ahead.
No, it's great that you will still offer for them to send it privately and resolve it, because I understand on the public platform that's not that's not something that you want to share out there. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So since this was posted on eBay for Business yesterday, let's talk about the Shine Awards, because I'm gonna guess that a lot of our viewers right now, and even somebody who watches later on or tomorrow, maybe they missed it. And you guys did this cool thing where you have all these different categories, and the winner's being announced soon. The voting's going on right now. So tell us about the Shine Awards.
Yeah, so the Shine Awards is something that we conceived probably, 6 months or so ago. And we really wanted to find a way to kind of highlight and celebrate all the wonderful sellers that we have in our community. And community for eBay is a differentiator, right? Like, I don't know if other marketplaces have as strong a community as we do. And going back to what I was just talking about with Nay, like, we have all these incredible stories in our community about sellers and how they have made a life and made a business on eBay. And so we wanted to do the Shine Awards to kind of highlight and celebrate that. So it started on early May. It started with Small Business Week. I forget how many people nominated themselves, but many people nominated themselves, and we were very impressed with the turnout. Excuse me. We narrowed that down to 15. Those 15 went up for a public vote. So there's 5 categories: family business, woman-owned business, growing business, global business, and charitable business. And so you can go to ebay.com/Shine Awards and vote once per day per category now through Monday. And the response has been fantastic. The finalists are promoting themselves in social media, so that's great. They're getting a lot of exposure. They're getting, for instance, like their local news organizations are doing stories about them. It's just a really nice feel-good moment in some of their local areas. And then voting will close on Monday, and then we will announce the winners at the eBay Open event. So it's unfortunately you have to wait a little while to find out who the winners are, but we're gonna have this big, Miss America moment on stage at the Open where
here she is, Miss Shine Award.
Exactly, where we do a big reveal. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So here's my question for you about these Shine Awards.
Yep.
Since my business is called Big Girl and all my friends call me Big Girl, could I have throw my hat in for woman-owned business?
Well, what bathroom do you use?
Well, I hate to admit this, but I sit to pee.
I don't know. The transgender question never came up in the woman.
I am a big girl. All right, so that's the Shine Awards. Now there's another Facebook page, and there's eBay Newsroom.
Yes. So eBay Newsroom is the corporate site, and so they are that team. I don't work on that team, but I partner closely with that team, and that team is all around talking about the corporate activities of eBay, and so they're really looking at things like industry trends, or what is Devin up to, if he's giving a speech or if he's going to a conference, that sort of thing. And they really talk about kind of like the vitality and health of the marketplace. I don't know if you guys follow any of the eBay investor relations stuff, but every quarter the investor relations team puts out a sheet. I think it's called Fast Facts, and it's just a really impressive collection of statistics about things like sales velocity. Every 5 seconds or every 3 seconds a watch is sold on eBay. Every 4 seconds a mobile phone is sold on eBay. I mean, the size and the scale of eBay is very impressive, and the investor relations team, they do a great job of putting out all kinds of very impressive stats on that. And so that's kind of what the eBay Newsroom team is focused on, is the corporate activities versus the buyer or seller-facing messages.
And that's my friend Colleen in the header picture, and Colleen and I have lobbied Congress together.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yes, I know you.
Oh, shoot, I was just going to ask something. Crap. It sucks getting old.
You're not that old.
I had a thought in my head.
Yes, it does.
And it just went, bye-bye. Oops.
It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back like 2 hours later. Can you all come back? I got the question now.
I've got the cancer brain, so I can't really say anything either. So.
Yeah, so another good Facebook group. And then Devin, for those of you who don't know, Devin is our fearless leader. And Devin and I met. His first day on the job was lobbying Congress with me. That's the day Devin and I met.
Nice.
And I know I was going to say, going back to what you were saying, so we'll get back to Devin in a second.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about trends and what's hot, and I was on eBay so early that I looked at every single thing that got listed every day on the whole site.
Wow.
So you couldn't do that now in 1 minute.
No.
But every night I'd come home from work, I would scroll back to my last clicked link and then look at everything that got listed that day.
Wow. I bet you learned a ton.
I did, and that's why I did it, because it was new. I wanted to see what was going on. What were people doing.
How many average listings were per day?
There wasn't a ton, because I could knock it out in about an hour. Now, I didn't click on every one, but I just read what people were selling and the things that interest me. But I always made sure to click on the last one, so I knew where to start the next day.
So around what year was that?
That was 98.
1743.
Yeah. That was 98 with dial-up.
Yeah, I was in college then.
So anyway, Devin had just got hired by eBay, and I didn't know who he was. He was so new, and we had to go do one of the congressmen from Nevada. And so, Jason, this is Devin. We just hired him. Devin, this is Jason. Let's go. That's how we met. And so we walked in and we talked of our case of why or how internet tag should work. And but Devin and I have been buddies ever since. I gave Devin his first Hawaiian shirt because he didn't own any, and that day I wanted to do Congress in a Hawaiian shirt. So.
How nice.
That's awesome.
So this is Devin's page, and
Yeah.
Audrey wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, so this is just a really great page to kind of see what's going on eBay, but also get a little glimpse into how he's thinking and kind of what new, like that one that's showing right now, the AMP announcement. Like, it's basically like, how is eBay staying innovative and fresh, and what are we rolling out, and what is on the mind of Devin. So that's a great page just to kind of understand what's going on with the CEO.
Yeah, that's great.
And for those of you who are don't know some of the ins and outs of Facebook, people who have set their walls to public, Devin I think is one of them. I'm one of them. You don't have to be friends to follow them.
Yeah.
You can just click on follow. So people can follow me and not be my friend. Same with Devin. So you don't, if you don't know Devin, he's not going to accept every friend request, but you can follow him and see, like Audrey just said, what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. There we have it.
And then we have the eBay Radio group.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let me say just something about the eBay Radio group, which is that, that's managed by Griff and Lee, and Griff is really good. So I love Griff. He is a man unto himself, right? Like he works on the seller experience team. He is a public figure at eBay, but he doesn't go through all the 19 rounds of revision on a message before it gets published, right? He just goes, right? He just talks. And so if you follow his page, you will oftentimes get messages before the official marketing has come out. Like, for instance, if you're an eBay store subscriber, you get a coupon code for the eBay shipping supplies. Mm-hmm. He wrote a whole note on how to go through that process before the marketing team had even written the marketing content for that. So what I'm trying to say is you can get he's kind of an early warning detection system.
Yeah, he's great. We love Garf. Yes, he's fantastic.
And he often publishes stuff that before it goes out through official channels, is what I'm trying to say.
That's cool. Yeah, he's great. He's very he's always been great for the to help the sellers. He's great with his information. Yeah, I love listening to him on eBay Radio, and I love his sense of humor too. He's got a great sense of humor.
You should hear him when the cameras are off.
Oh, I would love to.
For those of you who don't know who Griff is, Griff was the 6th employee hired at eBay. Mm-hmm. Been with them since that moment. So he's been with them. He's the longest tenured employee, and still going strong. He's a great guy, and I'm so happy that he and I become friends over the years beyond just the eBay. We're friends. Like when we get to town, either I go there, he comes here, we hang out, we go to dinner, we go to lunch, we talk about a lot of big girl stuff. So
Yeah, I've met him in person a couple times, and he is even more awesome in person. He's great.
All right, so let's go to a website that I never use, but you wanted to share a couple things.
Yeah, so this is LinkedIn. We're not super active on LinkedIn on the seller side, but this Devin Wenning influencer page is really great. Again, it's a way of kind of understanding where eBay's going, looking at the innovation, big corporate announcements, like if there's an acquisition, or if Devin is giving a big speech, like at the, at a big conference, that sort of thing. So that page really gives you a nice big overview of what's going on with eBay.
And then this other one.
This is the eBay Sellers official eBay group. I am the owner of that group. We're not terribly active on that group, so if you like Facebook, stick with Facebook. The only really benefit of that is that the LinkedIn group is international, while the eBay for Business Facebook page is U.S. only. So if you are not U.S. based, I would recommend going to the LinkedIn group.
And then the platform that everyone should be using besides Facebook is Twitter, and so obviously it's just at eBay. Pretty simple.
Yep. So that's the seller. Anything that ends in just eBay, like at eBay, that's the buyer-facing side. And so again, that team is all about bringing buyers to the site to purchase.
See, did you know a woman's handbag is purchased every 10 seconds on eBay Mobile?
Yep.
Truly fashion on the go. But again, from the seller standpoint, you see what's trending, what they're talking about. So it'll help you list things or see what's hot. If you don't know what's hot, this is a good place to start.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I might have things in my unlisted inventory that are hot right now that I don't know, and that I can, that I can now list. So.
Ooh, I like the little hula girl there.
Think about the big thing that's coming up is back to school, right? And back to school seems to get earlier and earlier and earlier each year, just like Christmas seems to get earlier and
I've
earlier.
already gotten jump started on getting my kids' uniform shirt and their pants and some of the things, because I know that, at the end of the summer it's going to all be gone. I won't be able to get it. So
if you have anything related to not only like elementary school and high school, but also think about college and dorm stuff. Like if there's a lot of and the folks that are going to the dorms, the kids that are going to the dorms, their parents are spending multiple times what they're spending on the elementary school kids. So think about like, do you have extra long twin sheets for dorm beds, that sort of thing. Think about the dorm crowd as well as the elementary crowd.
So somebody asked in the chat what was the first thing sold on eBay, and I gave the right answer, and somebody else said Pez. The Pez is a wives' tale. It wasn't true.
And the broken laser pointer, yes.
Yep, see, even they know it's broken laser pointer.
So if you come, I don't know if you guys saw this would have been on the corporate news side, that we just opened a new building in San Jose on the campus. It's this big kind of public, giant building where we can gather lots of people for public meetings kind of thing, like a all-hands meeting. And we tracked down the broken laser pointer, and apparently it is sitting in a glass case when you first walk in.
Nice.
Really? The actual laser pointer is, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think we bought it off the guy that originally bought it off of Pierre, and then we donated the money. Or he donated the money. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic.
Audrey, are you drinking right now?
Just a little white wine with my...
Hey, somebody's asking you what wine you're drinking.
I'm a Sauvignon Blanc girl with a lot of ice in it because I'm 87 years old.
Oh, that's great. And then to finish out the links that Audrey sent me, goober, I turned it off. She wanted to share 2 Facebook groups. Hey, the Thrifting Board's one of them.
Hey, yeah.
So if you've not joined the group, come on in. Like I said, when I talked about the shipping tip, we have tons of great information. We're not even a year old yet, and we have 13,348 members. Yeah.
By the way, that grew faster than my Facebook group. Your terrific Thrifting Board group grew faster than the eBay for Business Facebook page. So hats off to you.
We love our surfers, and
well, and it's not me at all. It's really it's the members there and the lifeguards, which we decided not to call our admins. We call them lifeguards, and Nadine is one of them.
Yes.
And it's and Audrey knows this, and anybody who I'm friends with at eBay knows we don't allow bullshit and negativity, nor we don't allow discussion of skirting the rules or laws. We only talk best practices.
Exactly.
You want to break the law in your own home quietly, that's fine, but we'll never allow discussion of it.
Yes, we do not allow eBay bashing because...
that too. eBay's our partner. The post office is our partner. Bubble Fast is our partner. So anybody that we partner with, if you got a problem with them, cool. But let's talk about it factually. No emotion, and we will get to the bottom of it. But for people, and some people, everyone in the group enjoys that we run it that way. Some people get mad and they leave because they live in negativity. All I do is piss and moan, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
There's too much negativity in the world. Let's have fun on Facebook. Damn it.
Yeah, we are a positive group. We have fun. We do have a lot of bending the rules. We allow a lot, but we don't allow negativity. Yeah.
Well, that's why I love your group. Just to overgeneralize in a very broad way, I feel like success in life is based on your attitude. I mean, I think we all know that.
Definitely.
But when you foster a positive environment like you guys have and a couple other groups that I enjoy, I can just see the sellers that are succeeding, and then I hang out on these other groups that are a lot more negative and a lot more, filled with drama. And it's a wonder that these folks aren't, of course they're not making any money. Of course they're not selling anything on eBay because it's all about mindset in my mind. And so when you create a positive environment like you guys do, your sellers are going to succeed. Like your surfers and your lifeguards are totally going to succeed compared to another group where all they do is bitch and moan.
Yes, exactly, and that's what we do not allow. We don't.
Yeah.
Can I put that quote on the back of the book because that was awesome? And then here's the other Facebook group you want to profile tonight.
Yeah. So this group is run by Kathy Terrell. Again, a very positive, helpful. We are all in this together. Everyone will succeed kind of message. I really like what Kathy does in this group. So if you're not a member of this group, I really encourage you to join that one as well.
All right, we're a little over the hour, but it's going good, and I want to ask you a couple quick questions that some of our members had posed, but I also want to pay you a couple compliments if you don't mind.
Oh, well, I love compliments. Keep talking.
When we announced that you were coming on, two people paid you some nice compliments. The first one was from Chrissa Riga Sanford. She says, I love Audrey Tracy. One of my favorite things to wear. It's something I bought from her store.
Yes, I remember.
And then secondly, Sarah Godfrey. What a nice and helpful person Audrey is. Got a chance to meet her at the 2015 eBay radio party. I'm very much looking forward to this episode. So you have your own set of fans out there who love you dearly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm a big deal. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That feels
I need you two to riff because someone's ringing my bell and it might be a delivery. So I'm going to run away from.
Oh no! Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's leaving. Okay.
Uh-oh, now what do we do?
Well, I do have a couple more questions for you that, let me see here. So someone asked, can I find the questions? Hold on a second, I'm scrolling down here. Oh, I know I had some questions. All right, does anybody in the chat have questions? Because I can't find my questions right now.
I can't see them, sorry.
So anybody in the chat, what is your eBay store name? Can we have that? Do you mind sharing?
Yes, so don't be too hard on me. It's a really funky name. Audrey, A-U-D-R-E-Y, J-O-J-O-J-O. Audrey JoJo.
Okay.
I'm not a thrifter. I just sell out of my closet. So what happens is I buy something, I wear it 3 times, I think, oh, I don't really like this, and then I sell it.
Awesome.
And so I don't really do a whole lot of thrifting, and I don't do a whole lot of sourcing other than, well, you know what, I take that back. I will buy shoes at the thrift store. I will buy shoes that are in really good shape, that look like they haven't been worn too well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'll look for the higher end brands. My mom, here's a little tidbit backstory. My mom opened a clothing store here in San Jose in this cute little neighborhood with a main, like a cute little main street. And she designed and sold her own clothes in
oh, that's so cool.
in the 80s. She and her best friend. So I have a little bit of like not history, but a little bit of fashion. Like I know what the brands are, I know what the fabrics are,
That's great.
I know what the shapes are, like is that a peplum or a bias cut or any of that stuff.
That's great, yeah.
And so I have a little tiny bit of expertise that I use now in my eBay business.
And that's all been something that I've had. It's been hard learned for me. So it's great that you had that. You had that in your family, and
So
right,
don't.
We're going to get to a quick question, but
certainly.
You would think this is planned. I just got a package from eBay for Business.
No way.
I sent that to you.
That's what the doorbell was, and he was right. The FedEx guy was right walking away. I'm like, I'm here.
What?
Oh my gosh.
So I got a package from eBay for Business today. Not planned at all.
I did that.
I didn't. So what's in it?
Well, let me tell you. Oh, but hey, let's real quick. Can you answer questions on eBay collections, Audrey?
Yes. Well, I can certainly try.
Okay. So here's the questions that a couple people have posed.
Yep.
One of them is, do they have anything in the works that makes it easier to post to your specific category within your collection? It's not alphabetical, and you can't do a search. So if you have a lot of collections, you just got to scroll.
Yeah. You know,
Is there,
I don't actually know if that's in the works, but I'd be happy to pass that along because I feel like that's a really good product or a feature suggestion. But to be helpful, well, let's see. Whoever asked that, why don't you private message me through the eBay for Business page so that I can understand exactly what the ask is. But I think I understand it like at a high level, but give me some details about exactly how you would like it to happen, and I can pass that along to the product team.
And then along those same lines, probably a question for the product team. Will there ever be analytics at some point to show us how it works? Like, hey, you built this great collection, and like 40% of the stuff that you put in this collection got sold, or something along those lines. I'm sure you know what they're looking for.
Right. So I don't know about analytics on collections per se, but I would encourage all of you guys to sign up for the eBay Seller Hub if you don't already have that. ebay.com/Seller Hub. That will give you a really good analytics on particular items, but not necessarily on collections. I'm writing down analytics on collections, though.
Okay.
Okay.
And everyone wants to know what you sent me, so.
Yes.
What I send you?
A half bottle of rum. No, just kidding.
That would be interesting. Yes.
A Harley Quinn coffee mug.
I drank the other half of that rum.
Yeah. No, a very cool. Thank you very much. eBay spare battery for your phone.
Oh, yes, yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's nice. I love it.
But that was not planned for it to show up while we were doing the show, was it?
No,
that
I
is
had
awesome.
no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, it makes for good TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's
it. That was good timing. Yes.
And then I think the last thing, I think that was it. Yeah, so I know people are very interested in the collections. We use them every day because we do a social media share thread every day, and people use eBay collections, and I think it's a great tool.
We certainly do.
I agree that there could be some, get those analytics back to us. You know, we get these great emails now from eBay. 30% of your stuff has been sold on mobile. You know, all that stuff is great. Let's have eBay expand that to collections and make collections a little easier to navigate.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that would also promote collections more. I think it would encourage more people to engage in collections because they would see that, wow, this is really helping me sell my items and get my items out there, and you know, if they had that data. So. Yeah,
no, that's great. I'll pass that along. Thank you for that.
Oh, and thank you. I didn't say thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for all of your work. This is awesome.
Oh, my pleasure. I love it. I love my job.
Lastly, you didn't actually mention it in your weekly Periscope with Griff, so tell us about that. We'll kind of finish up on that.
Yeah, so we do a weekly Periscope and Facebook live broadcast, and frankly, I got the idea from Jason on using the two phones and doing the two channels. So every Wednesday at 12:30 Pacific time, Griff and I do 20 minutes of ask us anything about selling on eBay. We are starting to put some marketing messages into those broadcasts. For instance, we'll have about 3 weeks, or for the last 3 weeks or so, we had somebody from the promoted listings team give kind of a deep dive on how those work. So it won't be a marketing message every time, but we're trying to kind of intersperse just general selling questions alongside a specific message around things like markdown manager, promotions list, or promoted manager, promoted listings. I want to do something on the out of stock feature because I feel like a lot of people don't know what that is or how that works. So anyway, you'll see a mix of just kind of free-form Q&A and specific topics that we want to cover. We've been doing it. We've been periscoping for about a year now, believe it or not, and we just started Facebook Live probably 2 months ago, and you would not believe the reach that we get on Facebook. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have the same results when you guys do Facebook Live, but you know, a typical post for our page might get 1,500 reach, and on the Facebook Live broadcast, we get something like 53,000 people seeing this video. So,
wow.
If you so what that says to me is that video is very important to Facebook, and they will promote the heck out of it if you do video content. So note to self on that.
And as Audrey said, a lot of times to just ask her and Griff anything. Griff's been around since the beginning, and Audrey's the Mac Daddy when it comes to all the things we talked about today. So if you got that burning question, that's an easy way to hop in, ask a question. Make it succinct and quick. Don't ask a 17-part with 3 subsets to every 17. How do I do this?
We can't address like specific account issues. Like,
right.
Like something happened to me and I need my account fixed. Well, sorry, dude, I can't do that on Facebook. You gotta call customer service. So just know that we would like to see kind of general selling questions that will help not only the person who's asking, but the eBay community as a whole.
Yes, that's understandable.
It's funny, somebody brought up in the chat, Audrey, I was going to say, I deal with a fair share of trolls when I do live stuff, but you seem to get a ton of them. How have they been lately?
Oh, I
didn't see today, so did you have a lot today?
Well, I got one guy who was very upset that I couldn't answer his question, but his question made no sense grammatically, so I can't answer a question I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a little hard.
But last week I got some very vulgar suggestions about what I could do with my mouth, and I politely declined on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get them too. People just give me shit about my beard on every Periscope, so,
right. Well, the good news is that I actually have like a camera person behind, and she can immediately block. So we don't, we try to keep this professional.
Oh, very much so. And really the reason I bring it up is, when that happens, when I'm doing one, when Audrey's doing one, we're on it. But the fact that you saw it, there's nothing you can do about it. In this day and age, you see it for a second, my eyes, whatever.
And it's
Don't get mad at us, those of us who are providing content. We're not asking them to come do this, but we'll get rid of them really quick. And I don't know if you know this, Audrey, but one day I'm doing one, and this guy was like, F you, and I went to block him, and when I touched the screen, Nadine had messaged, and I blocked her by accident.
Oh, yes, I remember that. I was blocked from your...
So that guy was still giving me grief, and Nadine was bye-bye.
Yeah, and I was like, did you block me? I can't see. I went in, and it was like, you're blocked. And
oops.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you. Especially, what a way to kick off our series of having eBay, and we're going to have a ton more eBay employees on. I think we have built our show to a point where I think everyone will be happy to come on. So, Audrey, thank you for being for breaking our cherry. You are our number one.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is great. Yes,
I look
so
forward
honored
to
to have you on.
Yeah, we're going to party in Vegas.
I'll get to meet you in Vegas?
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
eBay for Business will have a booth in the community village part of the expo hall, so come see me.
Oh, I'm so excited to meet you in person. That's great.
And I'll be kind of wandering around as well, but mainly I'll be at the booth.
Cool. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Wear your drinking shoes, that's for sure.
Yeah,
party time. Do not wear the high heels you've not worn in 6 years because you're in Vegas like all the other dipshits.
I always wear heels. I'm a girly girl. I don't care.
I will tell you, if you're coming, so Audrey, Nadine, anyone else who's watching is coming, it's a fun game that we play. It's called Spot the Girl Who Hasn't Worn Heels Since the Last Time She Was in Vegas.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's not me. I wear heels. I'm a
see, you wear them. You find the women who look like drunken baby giraffes.
No, that's not me. I like
2 seconds later, they're walking the strip in bare feet.
No. I'm a veteran heel wearer, so I'm a girly girl.
All right, don't forget, I'm doing a test show in about an hour. I'm going to put the link in the thrifting board right now. I need a little bit of an audience. It's going to be short, 10 minutes. I just want
and I want
the audience to tell me
so I can do my art.
How it sounds and how it looks. What, Nay?
I need my picture so I can do my art.
Yes, I will take your pictures. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So, Audrey, thank you very much for coming on. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to party hardy, and we're going to learn a lot, and eBay Open's going to be awesome.
Yes, it is. I'm very excited.
I'm so excited I get to go. This is so great. Yes.
All right, everybody, thank you. Don't forget, next week, inspiring story. This Friday, my mom and I show, we're going to talk about how to separate the workload and test drinking show in about an hour.
And we'll have to talk about doing a haul soon, too.
Yes, we're going to do a haul soon. I got a whole tub ready. I got some cool stuff I got to show you guys. So,
all right, we'll have to talk about, we'll have to figure out a time, and we'll do it.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.